The wildcard is active, and here's my Gameweek 30 team selection. What is up, everyone? How's it going? Hope you're keeping well, and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. The international break is finally over. We've had our rest, and it's finally time to start planning ahead for the last 9 game weeks of the season. In today's video, I'm going to show you my Gameweek 30 wildcard team, and I'm also going to be showing you how I'm going to navigate the rest of the season with a bench boost and free hit left to play. We've lots to discuss. Let's get into the video. Let's start off the video as normal by hitting a like goal of 80 likes on this video. So head on down there, give the video a like, and if you are watching this and you're not subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button below. Currently 56% of my viewers aren't actually subscribed to the channel, so if you are one of those and you're watching now and you aren't subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button and support the channel. I'm currently on the road to 6k subs, trying to get there before the end of the season, so I'd really appreciate your support to help me get there. Before I get into my current wildcard draft, let's have a quick look back at my Gameweek 29 review. As you can see on screen there, 17 points I scored in Gameweek 29. Yeah, 17 points. Actually, it was worse as I did take a -4, so 13 points as a whole I came away with in the end. So probably one of the worst game weeks I've ever had in my history of playing the game. I did have only 9 players playing, but all 9 players blanked. The only silver lining from that Gameweek 29 was the fact I have saved my free hit, so I'll be looking to use that free hit later on in the season for one of the double game weeks in Gameweek 34 or 37. There were so many talking points from last week, and you can see why it was called a blank game week, with blank after blank after blank from every popular player. Ollie Watkins blanking, Ivan Toney blanking, the West Ham assets blanking, Aston Villa midfielders blanking, the Spurs lads blanking, the Luton lads blanking, Brentford losing their clean sheet in the first 10 minutes along with a Reguilon red card. Was a very tough one to take for free hitters as they were very popular on the free hit, but it was good news for my own team. The only downside then, looking at my own team, was the fact that Areola had a late clean sheet wipeout, and so did Charlie Taylor. I was one of these clean sheets away from getting a green arrow, so it shows how close the ranks are. An extra 4 points would have seen me close to the top 100k, but from losing those 4 points, I've now dropped to 132k overall. Such a weird game week, and I don't think we'll see one like that for the next couple of years. But yeah, 132k overall, we're not in bad shape at all. Let's move on now and have a look at my wildcard team ahead of the Gameweek 30 deadline. So the plan before the international break was to wildcard in Gameweek 31, but I've since moved these plans a week early and the wildcard has been activated ahead of the Gameweek 30 deadline. I've just got a few quick points to note before I get into my wildcard squad, but as you can see on screen here, this is what my Gameweek 30 team would have looked like without the wildcard in play. To be fair, the team isn't in that bad a shape with triple Spurs with that favourable fixture against Luton, but there are 2 major absentees in no Mo Salah and no Erling Haaland up front. If you look at the defence there, Doughty's away to Spurs and Gabriel is up against Man City this weekend, so the defence is a bit of a shambles. So I've pressed the wildcard a week early because the defenders I would have brought in Gameweek 31, they've also favourable fixtures in Gameweek 30, so I'm looking hopefully we can get some clean sheets in Gameweek 30 and hopefully capitalise on those favourable fixtures for the players I would have brought in Gameweek 31 anyway. I did take a punt on the 2 Luton players with the fact I had a double game week and a blank game week. Doughty didn't do too bad, but he was taken off early in the blank game week, and unfortunately Morris wasn't able to return at all over the course of their 3 games, so that's another reason why I want to wildcard early and get these players out, as Luton are looking a bit shaky over the last couple of game weeks. But that's the reasons. A quick few points to note on why I'm using the wildcard early. Let's move on now and have a look at my wildcard draft ahead of the Gameweek 30 deadline. So looking at my current wildcard draft and starting off with the defence, I've gone for double Chelsea defensive assets in Petrovic in goals and Gusto, my first defender. Chelsea have 2 double game weeks still to come in either Gameweek 35, 36 or 37, so getting these Chelsea assets in now allows me to have double game week players in the future game weeks. Chelsea also have favourable fixtures coming up with Burnley at home now in Gameweek 30 and then they face Sheffield United away in Gameweek 32, so bringing in these players early, fingers crossed we can get some clean sheets over the next couple of game weeks. They then face Arsenal in Gameweek 34, but I will be looking to free hit in Gameweek 34 so I can get rid of these Chelsea players for that free hit game week and then have them for the double game weeks in 35, 36 or 37 whenever they fall into place. Next up is my first budget pick of the squad with Lascelles coming back into the team, and with Botman set to be sidelined for the rest of the season, Lascelles is the ultimate budget pick as he's priced at 3.9 million. Newcastle have a nice run of fixtures over the next couple of game weeks, but they have especially great fixtures from Gameweek 34 onwards when they face Crystal Palace, Sheffield United and Burnley, and then followed by a potential double game week in Gameweek 37, so that's why Lascelles makes the team as he has those lovely fixtures and then has that double game week in 37 when I'll be looking to bench boost. Udogie of Spurs completes my 3-man defence with some nice fixtures for Spurs over the next couple of game weeks, which sees them face Luton at home this weekend and then Nottingham Forest at home in game week 32. However, Spurs are set to blank in game week 34, but that doesn't matter to my own team because with my current chip strategy, I'll be looking to free hit in game week 34 so I can take out Udogie that week and bring in a player who doubles that week. Spurs are then set to double in game week 36 and game week 37, so free hitting in game week 34 allows me to have Udogie back in my team and I can have him in these fixtures over these double game weeks. Looking at the Spurs defensive assets, I would prefer to have Pedro Porro over Udogie with Pedro Porro on some set piece duties, but Udogie allows me to save 0.5 of a million and I can use these funds out the field. That's how my current defence is looking at the moment. Let's move on now and have a look at the midfield. Moving on to my wildcard picks in midfield, I've gone with the very template picks in Mo Salah, Heung-min Son, Cole Palmer and Bukayo Saka. Starting off with Heung-min Son, he's those very favourable fixtures over the next couple of game weeks. Luton at home this weekend and then Nottingham Forest at home in game week 32. And then he does blank in game week 34, but not to worry, I can free hit in game week 34, so I'll be taking Son out then, and then I'll also have Son for game week 36 and game week 37 when Spurs are set to double then. Next up in midfield is the main man, Mo Salah, with some very favourable fixtures for Liverpool over the next couple of game weeks. Brighton up next now in game week 30, followed by Sheffield United, Man United and then Crystal Palace, and then after these fixtures a double game week for Liverpool in game week 34, so Mohamed Salah is looking pretty much essential at the moment. He's also only owned by only 25% of managers in the game, so he could be a lovely differential ahead of that Brighton game this weekend. We spoke about Chelsea's favourable fixtures over the next couple of game weeks, so Cole Palmer's spot in midfield is cemented with Burnley and Sheffield United over the next couple of games. He does face Arsenal in game week 34, but as I said, not to worry, I can free hit him out of the team in game week 34 and he'll be back in the team for the 2 double game weeks Chelsea will have in either 35, 36 or a triple game week in 37. Bukayo Saka completes the 4-man midfield. He is up against Man City this weekend in a game that could decide the title. Could be a blank for Saka this weekend, but I do expect Arsenal to score, so fingers crossed Saka is involved, and with him being on penalties, there's always a chance he will be involved. They then face Luton in game week 31, which could be a potential captaincy pick for Saka next week, and then they face Brighton and Aston Villa. And then in game week 34, Arsenal have a double game week, so that's the reason Saka makes the wildcard team. That's the 4-man midfield as of now, a very template 4-man midfield, but a very strong one all the same. Let's move on now, have a look at the 3 striker spots and who makes the wildcard team. Alexander Isak, Darwin Núñez and Erling Haaland complete my starting 11 on my wildcard team. Looking at Isak and Darwin Núñez, Isak is currently owned by only 12% of managers in the game, and Darwin Núñez is currently owned by only 14% of managers in the game. So if these 2 players pop off over the next couple of weeks, they could be some lovely differentials and get me ahead of the curve. Looking at Darwin Núñez, Liverpool have 3 home fixtures out of the next 4 games, with very favourable fixtures against Brighton, Sheffield United and Crystal Palace, and then followed by a double game week for Liverpool in game week 34. There's every chance Núñez can return well over the next couple of game weeks. We spoke about Newcastle's very favourable fixture run from game week 34 onwards against Crystal Palace, Sheffield and Burnley, followed by a double game week for Newcastle in game week 37. All I can say is fingers crossed Isak can stay fit ahead of these games, because if he can, there's every chance he can return well over these game weeks. Erling Haaland completes my starting 11 and it's good to have him back in the team. It was a nervy watch. Thankfully he was quiet in that Liverpool game, but it's great to have him back in the team. He's pretty much a set and forget for the rest of the season, and City are set to have a double game week in game week 37, so it's always nice to have that extra fixture for Haaland that week. Moving on to the bench then, Caoimhin Kelleher is a budget enabler as my second keeper, and I'm only eyeing up that Sheffield United fixture in game week 31 for Liverpool when Petrovic faces Man United in game week 31, so I can sub out Petrovic and bring in Kelleher with that favourable fixture for Liverpool. Klopp has said Alisson is nearing a return from injury, but that doesn't matter as I do have my free hit in game week 34, so I'll be looking to load up on double game week players. If Alisson is back from injury, that's all well and good. I can bring Alisson back into the team for that double game week for Liverpool, but if Kelleher is still in the team, I can still play him also. Looking at the other double game week then, in game week 37, where I'll be looking to bench boost, I can move Kelleher on to a keeper who doubles. More than likely, it's going to be Ederson. Garnacho is another cheap enabler on my bench, priced at 4.9 million. United have some difficult fixtures over the next couple of game weeks, which does see them face Chelsea and Liverpool, But from Game Week 34 onwards, they have a great run of fixtures with season play. Sheffield United, Crystal Palace and Burnley, and then followed by a double game week for United in Game Week 37. So having Garnacho on my bench allows me to have him for these favourable fixtures, and it also gives me an extra double game week player when Game Week 37 comes around. Aït-Nouri and Gabriel complete my 15-man wildcard squad. Gabriel's up against Man City this weekend, so he earns a spot on the bench, but I would definitely be coming back into the team for Game Week 31 when Arsenal face Luton at home with his attacking threat. Arsenal then face Brighton away in Game Week 32, followed by Aston Villa at home in Game Week 33. So to be fair, with these fixtures, there's always a chance he could get a clean sheet here also. They then double in Game Week 34, but even though I am free hitting, I'll more than likely be keeping Gabriel in the team, as I will be looking to have at least one Arsenal defensive asset over their double game week. With my last player, Aït-Nouri, he's definitely not locked in for now, but he does have some nice fixtures between the double game week for Wolves, up against Burnley, Nottingham Forest and Luton in their single game weeks. So with these fixtures, there's always a chance Aït-Nouri could get a clean sheet or a cheeky attack and return like he has done over the last couple of game weeks. With this wildcard team, it gives me 6 double game week players for Game Week 34, but that doesn't matter as I will be looking to use my free hit in Game Week 34 so I can stock up on a few more players than 6. If Chelsea and Spurs do double in Game Week 36, I'll have 5 players with this team, 3 from Chelsea, 2 from Spurs, but I will be looking to use an extra free transfer to bring in 3 Spurs assets, so it'll give me 6 players in total with that double game week. It'll potentially be Saka to Maddison or Richarlison, whoever's in better form when the time comes around. And then looking at Game Week 37, when I will be looking to use my bench boost. With this team at the moment, I have 9 double game week players, but I'll be looking to use some free transfers to get me to 11, 12, maybe even 13 double game week players for hopefully a nice score on my bench boost. Moving our focus back to Game Week 30 and looking at captaincy, Mo Salah gets the Ironman against a very leaky Brighton defence, and with Mo Salah only owned by 25% of managers in the game, he could be a lovely differential for the Ironman this weekend. If you've made it to the end of this video, please give it a like, drop a comment below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's hit a like goal of 80 likes on this video. If you are watching and you're not subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button below. I'm currently on the road to 6k subs, trying to get there before the end of the season. So if you are watching and you're not subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit subscribe and support the channel. I'll see you all on Saturday afternoon for the Game Week 30 deadline stream. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.